I'm a huge Frank fan.
Yo.
How's that yo?
It's not hip hop.
That's not hip hop.
Being a Frank fan is not hip hop.
That's not hip hop.
It's a double entendre.
But go ahead though. Mr. Ocean.
I'm a big fan of the Franks.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Lonnie Bro, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So some disrespect is about to come because I'm leading with, hey,
Yeah,
I like him,
Yeah,
but
I like that. This is my type of shit.
Like
we
me.
deem Frank to be an A-lister in the culture, right?
Yes. Right?
He's headlining Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just disappear for this long.
Actually, I don't. Let me just say that. Which is why I didn't understand why people were so mad when he didn't come out and Drake did. Because I was like, yo, he's a way better artist and performer than Frank Ocean. But I get it. In that festival, I get it.
Frank is an A-list artist in our culture. Y'all culture that I'm a fan of.
That you're a visitor of. Yeah.
Yes.
Got you.
But he made himself that way by being so elusive and mysterious. If Frank dropped all the time, do you
Cool,
think he
but
would be a
let's deal with what's true. Yes, he disappears all the time. So you don't get the grace of being able to fuck up when you come back outside. Especially when it's a headlining set at Coachella. In no way do I think Frank would do what Beyonce would do at Coachella. I'm not putting him to that standard. But you still are an A-list act. You are headlining Coachella. We never see you. So it's going to be a big moment when you come out and actually perform, especially at the biggest festival in the fucking world. And you give some subpar shit. No, you don't get any grace. It's not like you do 80 shows a year and, hey, we had some technical difficulties. You don't get to have those when you only pop out once every 10 years.
I think that he took a page out of the Miss Lauryn Hill book.
Lauren
elusive.
performs more than him.
No, but what I mean, like being elusive, showing up late. But the thing that Miss Lauryn Hill does is when she hits that stage,
She's performing.
it's a performance. And I think that's where he dropped the ball here. Had he been late and, whatever, and hit the stage and it was like, oh, he killed it, nobody's upset. People understand it. They're like, oh, we understand this is Frank. This is what he does. He's elusive. He's mysterious. He's all of these things. But when he steps on the stage, he delivers. And I think that he clearly dropped the ball here. It looked like he didn't really want to be there. I do understand his brother passed away some years ago.
3 years ago.
And I think, probably still grieving, things like that. I understand all of those things. I'm not being insensitive to that. But when you talk about headlining Coachella, and all these people are there, these people are there to see you, the energy and the performance have to meet a certain level, a certain standard. And I think that he, I get the artistic thing. I believe that he had an ice skating rink he was supposed to have, and last minute he had that pulled after having ice skaters practice some type of performance and things like that. Last minute decided to X that out of the show. Again, I can't tell an artist how he wants to, his stage to look and he wants the performance to come across. I'm not Frank Ocean. I can't, but I'm just saying the energy behind it seems very, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go out there, get this over with and disappear again for another year and a half.
I have no idea what it's like to put together a headlining set at Coachella. I'm sure it's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's extremely difficult. I'm sure it takes 500 people to really get that done the way it needs to be done. But how long ago was this announced? And how much time before was that contract already done? Frank has probably had 5 months to put this set together, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
If not a year after they start booking Coachella. They're booking next year's now.
Yeah.
So with that said, you do have time, and maybe I'm not even just speaking to Frank in this regard, but whoever was running production on that shit. Like maybe it wasn't Frank's fault that the ice skating.
I was going to say maybe something happened there. It wasn't his fault, and
but
he was like, it wasn't what he wanted it to be, but it still falls on him.
Well, that's like allegedly from reports. They're saying last minute. Again, there was the setup for the stage was he was inwards. So it's him, his band, and there's screens surrounding them, but they're pushed back pretty deep on stage. In the forefront, closer to the crowd, would have been this ice rink with people skating and doing
fire idea
moves and shit. Visually, probably would have been dope.
Channel Orange on ice.
Mm-hmm.
But they removed at last minute. They said Frank wanted to scrap the ice rink, which still left the set pushed way back into the stage. So a friend of mine who was there, who was kind enough to send her account of what happened and what it looked like, said it was impossible to actually see Frank. You could only experience the show from the screens, no matter where you were, because it was so dark.
Here's the
where
thing,
they were located.
I'm not super mad at that because a festival of that size, no matter what, you kind of have to rely on the screens unless you're within the first few rows, which a majority of the crowd obviously is not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of a cool idea where you can rely on the screens for the music performance, but have that ice skating shit in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have been a layup to have Will Ferrell come out during Forrest Gump and do ice skating with two men, like Blades of Glory,
Great movie.
and just have Forrest Gump score it.
Great movie.
No, you're not into that.
I'm glad he got rid of the ice.
Anyways, I think it'll get cleaned up for next weekend. But again, I don't think he gets that grace to fuck up the first weekend and then have a good performance the next one.
Do we think that he performs next weekend?
Contractually, I think he probably has to.
He has to.
But they did announce that he was going to be on the live stream. And then yesterday, like a few hours before, they said he wasn't going to be on it. I'm curious where that landed in the contract, because it was on YouTube, right? Is where they were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which allegedly, again, they said because of the set change, he didn't feel comfortable with the live stream. So if allegedly, I'm not sure, but they said that could be the reason why he pulled the stream.
Either way, it's just not a good look for Frank. I mean, his fans were upset. They were really looking forward to seeing him and hearing him. And
YouTube got to be upset. He might have fucked over Coachella in a different type of way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rory,
I think Frank is going to be, if he wasn't already, because so many performers, when they do this, obviously we looked up how much they make. They don't make a lot. A lot of it goes into production. He might be in the super red if he fucked up the YouTube live stream shit off his call.
NewRoryNMal.